Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Sukanya unleashes secrets about Kody. Robyn can't handle it. Kody Brown says Mary was all over him when they got married. Mary was clingy. Mary Brown was a wife who was clingy. Nonetheless, according to her former husband. According to Kody Brown, Mary was all over him to the point where it bothered his other wives. In the Sister Wives episode Love Covers All Wrongs on Sunday, Kody spoke candidly about Mary's clinginess. The topic came about when the family celebrated Valentine's Day. Before Kody joined the family, Christine, Janelle, and Mary, Kody's ex-wives, decided not to show affection to the other wives. Admittedly, Robyn saw it as a mistake because it made Kody and all of his wives feel alone. Although it may have caused jealousy among the wives, Robyn reasoned that they were already jealous of each other anyway, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. Kody explains why he started withdrawing Mary's affection. In the new episode, Mary told the producers during a confessional that Kody had said it was hard to have her around because he couldn't be as affectionate with Robyn as he wanted to. Kody added, "When Mary and I got married, Mary was clingy," during his confessional. "She was everywhere I went." Kody continued, imitating himself receiving Mary's affection, saying, "She was always all over me." Kody also said that Mary, his first wife, would sit on his lap while he was dating Janelle, his second wife. Kody confessed, "Janelle's mom pulls me aside and says, 'Hey, Janelle's not comfortable seeing that affection that you're giving to Mary.'" Kody explained that he started withdrawing affection from Mary and never even established it with Janelle as a result of this opinion. Ex-boyfriends of Kody weigh in on affection. The rest of the Browns offered their opinions about showing affection in their plural marriage. Janelle communicated that there should be no rules. She is of the opinion that sister wives and husbands ought to act in a way that benefits both of them. For Mary, it depended on where they were in the marriage. She didn't mind seeing him affectionate with his other wives when they were in a good place. But if Mary and Kody were on bad terms, it was really hard for her to witness. When Christine's marriage to Kody was in a terrible state, she found it insulting to observe affection between Kody and another wife. Additionally, it seemed to Christine that Robyn was always more interested and wanted to have physical affection, like, in front of the other wives. Robyn demonstrates that Christine's assumption was correct. Robyn has always been pro-PDA. Robyn stated that couples feel safe and secure when they show affection to one another. Robyn acknowledged, "If Kody would have been able to show affection, or we would have been able to show affection to him, it would have made each wife feel more secure and more comfortable. It was acceptable to fight in front of one another." She continued, "It wasn't okay to show love, support, care, or a tender word, that wasn't allowed." However, she stated, "It wasn't okay to sit there and get edgy with each other." When Kody and Mary married in 1990, theirs was the foundational relationship that launched the Brown family's plural journey. At the time, Mary was 19 years old, young, passionate, and fully committed to Kody as not just her husband but also her spiritual partner. Mary's emotional attachment in the early years could be interpreted as intensity rooted in sincere love. She wanted to be close to Kody, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. While some might characterize that as clinginess, others would argue that it simply reflected the dynamics of a newlywed couple deeply in love. However, Kody's description of this early stage as suffocating hints at a mismatch in emotional investment. Kody, as the man in the center of a growing plural marriage, perhaps wanted more space or freedom. But Mary didn't sign up for distance. She signed up for intimacy and devotion. This clash may have been the beginning of their slow unraveling, a rift Kody later justified by claiming Mary's affection made others uncomfortable. But was that really Mary's fault? Part 2, Janelle's entry, the first wedge between Kody and Mary. The situation became more complicated when Kody spiritually married his second wife, Janelle, in 1993. According to Kody's confession in Love Covers All Wrongs, Janelle's mother pulled him aside and told him Janelle wasn't comfortable seeing Kody show affection to Mary. This interaction had long-term effects. Kody admitted he began to withdraw affection from Mary and never even established it with Janelle, an admission that speaks volumes about the emotional limitations placed on the plural marriage right from the start. Mary became collateral damage in the effort to create harmony. Kody, rather than trying to balance affection across his relationships, simply removed it from the equation with Mary. That emotional void festered for decades. But if Kody was responding to Janelle's discomfort by withdrawing affection from Mary, doesn't that raise a serious question? Why was Mary the one who had to sacrifice, and not Kody's newer partner? Why was Mary punished for being emotionally expressive? Part 3, Christine and Robyn, the growing complexity of affection in plural marriage. As Christine and Robyn entered the family, Kody's emotional availability continued to shift, and so did the rules around public displays of affection, PDA. According to Robyn, when she joined the family, she was told not to show affection toward Kody in front of the other wives. However, Robyn confessed she thought this was a mistake. She believed PDA could actually foster trust and security between spouses. Robyn claimed that allowing affection to be visible would have created more openness and comfort within the family unit. Christine, on the other hand, strongly disagreed. She called it insulting to see Kody be affectionate with another wife when her own marriage was falling apart. For Christine, it wasn't about PDA rules, it was about emotional fairness and respect. Mary, meanwhile, said her comfort with PDA depended on where she and Kody stood at the time. If they were in a good place, it was fine. But when they were not, watching Kody be affectionate with another wife was really hard. All these differing opinions illustrate one key thing. Affection in plural marriages is an emotional minefield. And yet, Kody paints Mary's early love and enthusiasm as the problem, when in reality, the whole dynamic was never balanced. Part 4, The Real Cost of Clinginess. Was Kody gaslighting Mary? When Kody mocked Mary for being all over him in his confessional, even imitating her, it wasn't just cruel, it was dismissive of the emotional trauma she's endured. Fans and critics alike were shocked by how lightly he took her vulnerability. By calling Mary clingy, Kody framed her affection as something to be ashamed of, when in truth, it was likely a normal emotional response from someone who genuinely loved her husband and wanted to connect with him. Over time, Mary's affection was met with rejection, emotional coldness, and even public ridicule. Some viewers interpret this as a form of gaslighting. Kody seems to be retroactively blaming Mary for caring too much while failing to take accountability for withdrawing love without explanation. He rewrote their marital history through a lens of annoyance rather than empathy. Worse yet, he seemed to justify the eventual deterioration of their relationship by pointing back to those early days, as if Mary's emotional investment had always been the problem. This is a classic tactic in failed relationships, reframing love as neediness, and closeness as suffocation. Part 5, Robyn's role, the last straw for Mary? As time passed, Robyn became the focus of Kody's emotional and romantic energy. Mary, who had once been the sole recipient of his affection, was now watching him build a life with someone else while being increasingly shut out. Robyn's comfort with PDA, coupled with Kody's indulgence in it, only deepened the emotional divide. Where Mary was once too much, Robyn was embraced, literally and figuratively, for her emotional openness. It's easy to see how Mary might have felt invalidated. The same traits she was criticized for were now being rewarded in someone else. If affection and physical closeness weren't allowed in front of other wives, why did Kody and Robyn seem exempt from that rule? Eventually, Mary would express how painful it was to see Kody pour so much into Robyn while offering her nothing. Her willingness to cling on in the early years now became a painful irony. She clung to a man who no longer saw value in her presence. Part 6, Mary's growth, from clingy to courageous. Despite Kody's characterization of her, Mary has shown incredible strength in recent years. She finally made the decision to leave the spiritual marriage in 2023, declaring that she deserved more than what she was getting. Her decision to walk away, after decades of emotional deprivation, was a powerful moment. It reframed the narrative. The woman who was once painted as clingy was now the one with the courage to let go. She's now focused on her career, personal growth, and even new ventures outside of the Sister Wives universe. Her social media presence is confident and independent. In many ways, the woman Kody once mocked has become stronger than ever. Her journey proves that needing love isn't a weakness. The real weakness is failing to give it when your partner needs you most. Conclusion: who was really the problem, Mary's affection, or Kody's rejection? When Kody Brown said Mary was clingy and all over him, he reignited a much deeper conversation about emotional imbalance in plural marriage, and how affection is weaponized. Rather than acknowledging his own failures to maintain emotional equity among his wives, Kody seems to blame Mary for loving him too much. But Mary's love wasn't the problem, his response to it was. Mary, like all human beings, wanted affection, attention, and commitment. And Kody, who once accepted her love, slowly backed away under the guise of protecting the family structure. In doing so, he left behind a woman who was faithful to a fault, only to be publicly ridiculed years later. In the end, Mary's so-called clinginess was never the real issue. The issue was Kody's inability, or unwillingness, to nurture emotional intimacy across all his relationships equally. And while Mary may have been all over him once upon a time, today, she's finally over him, and better for it. Kody Brown married Mary in 1990, the two were in love. By all accounts from early seasons of Sister Wives, Mary was his legal wife, the first to join him in building a family built on faith, unity, and the principle of sisterhood. Kody and Mary didn't just share affection, they shared a dream of building something unconventional and spiritually fulfilling. But in Kody's words from the recent episode, he remembers Mary being all over him. She was clingy, he said, almost disdainfully. He even physically reenacted a younger Mary clinging to him in a show of uncomfortable exaggeration. It's worth pausing here to note the double standard at play. A newly married woman showing affection toward her husband would not typically be viewed as problematic, unless, of course, that man had other relationships to consider. In Kody's version of events, Mary's love and attention became a problem because it wasn't just between the two of them. It was being witnessed by other women, other potential wives, and that created tension. 2. The Janelle factor, a silent shift. Kody's comments about Janelle's discomfort during his early relationship with Mary also add weight to the controversy. According to Kody, while courting Janelle, her mother pulled him aside to express that Janelle was not comfortable seeing Kody be so physically affectionate with Mary. Kody used this comment as justification to begin withdrawing affection from Mary, and never establishing it with Janelle. That's a stunning admission. Kody seemingly made a permanent change to his emotional behavior because of one offhand comment. That change became the blueprint for how he navigated emotional intimacy with all his wives. Instead of managing affection with balance, Kody opted to shut it down altogether, at least in front of the other wives. This single moment, in hindsight, set the stage for a lifetime of emotional confusion in the Brown household. Janelle, for her part, explained that she didn't believe there should have been any rules about public affection. Each couple should do what worked best for them. That's a refreshing stance, but unfortunately, one that didn't guide Kody's choices early on. 3. Mary's perspective, was her affection weaponized? For Mary, this retelling by Kody must be heartbreaking. In her own confessionals, she expressed that she had always wanted a connection with her husband, and that his distance from her in later years made it incredibly hard to watch him show affection to others. When they were in a good place, she had no problem with him loving the other wives. But when they were struggling, seeing his love given to Robyn or Christine became almost unbearable. Kody's labeling of Mary as clingy feels cruel when viewed through this lens. It's not uncommon in relationships, especially in polygamous ones, for emotional needs to vary. But the term clingy is often used to dismiss someone who is simply trying to maintain closeness or validate their place in a relationship. For Mary, her expressions of love were not calculated or controlling, they were the expressions of a woman who felt secure, at least for a while. Did Mary become emotionally dependent on Kody? Perhaps. But can she be blamed for seeking affection from the man who promised her a lifetime of commitment? 4. Robyn and the role of PDA, the affection revolution. When Robyn Brown entered the Brown family as Kody's fourth wife, she brought a different philosophy regarding affection. Unlike Christine, Janelle, and Mary, Robyn openly advocated for public displays of affection, PDA, as a tool for emotional security. It would have made each wife feel more secure and more comfortable if Kody would have been able to show affection, she said during her confessional. It was okay to fight in front of each other. It was okay to sit there and get edgy with each other. But it wasn't okay to show love, support, care, a tender word, that wasn't allowed. Robyn's comments highlight the irony of the situation. Emotional distance was normalized among the wives, but love was hidden.